recent video of Alex Bennett's Ramble. And if you're lucky enough, we'll see Alex interacting with the citizen panel. Always a tour highlight. Did I mention that tipping your tour guide is greatly appreciated? As we approach the bottom of the Ramble video, we see quick links to all the ways that you can connect with GabNet programs. Facebook Live, YouTube, TuneIn, Livestream, Vimeo, and the GabNet Roku channel. They're all additional stops that you can make if you choose to step off the bus. But remember, please tip your tour guide if you do, and then you can hop on the next bus. Here's another highlight on our tour. On the left side, you'll see GabNet On Demand. You can quickly access any of the most recent programs there. Clearly, a value spot on our tour because downloads are at no extra cost. Please give your attention now to the right side. Look at the complete tutorial on how easy it is to become a citizen panelist. By the way, if you're a Luddite, there's a phone number that you can use to dial in. Okay, we're nearing the halfway point on our trip. I certainly hope that you're enjoying it. Oh look, there's the convenient call Skype button that you can click on, which will automatically connect you to the citizen panel. So now we're turning down the center of the page. I don't want you to miss any of these attractions, so please pay attention. Up first is a link to the 24/7 feed. Now these are going to come fast and furious, so pay attention. Next is a quick note on how you can hear GabNet on Amazon Echo. Next, quickly coming behind that, and this is always exciting, a screen that shows Alex Bennett's Ramble when it is live, with a countdown to the next show. It's always fun when we pass and the show is live. We're winding down our tour of GabNet.net, but before we reach our final stop, it's important to note that there is a place for you to contact them with your comments. Let them know how you like GabNet.net and the GabNet programming. And with that, we wrap up our tour. Remember, as you step off the bus, to please be careful. And also remember that GabNet is talk like you've never heard or seen it before. Did I mention, please tip your tour guide?
Reasons why you tune into GabNet. Here's reason number 9. Great celebrity guests.
So how many years is this now with Teller?
43, and that's 43 continuous. You can try to say Keith Richards and Mick Jagger go longer, but they take 3, 4, 5 years off. You know, even when they're together, they take the time off. Continuous, you know, no more than 2 weeks working apart, I think.
Wow. And
like being waterboarded for 43 years.
GabNet. Reasons to listen every day. Log on to GabNet.net for more. GabNet. It's talk like you've never heard it before. Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network.
And we sing. Hi, everybody. This is Alex Bennett. This is The Ramble. And in about 25 minutes from right now, we'll go to our citizens panel. But first, we're going to check in with an old friend of ours. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always a pleasure, as usual, to welcome to these auspicious microphones. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm out of it today for some reason. It's Larry Bubbles Brown. Hey! Larry Bubbles Brown. Yeah, what?
You mentioned, solitude is such a rare commodity now because there's noise everywhere, and you said there's hammering all over your building.
Where they're building, what they're doing is, I'd like to say they're building, but they're really destroying the apartment next door. These apartments are really old apartments with a lot of wood in them and things like that. And they come in and they just plaster everything up and lower the ceilings. And, they say they have to lower the ceilings so they can get the electrical conduits in. Well, there is a level above. There's a crawl space, but they don't remember that, And they just come in and ruin these apartments. So what we're doing...
they take these great places and make them tacky.
Yeah, so what I do, with this apartment, I feel part of what we're doing is trying to save it. Because if we ever were out of here, they'd come in here and just destroy it, you
Yeah.
know. And I like it the way it is. Yeah, it's a little ratty, you know. It's got a lot of dings and a lot of nicks, which I'd love to fix up if I owned the place, but I don't. So I'm happy to live with it, and it's a huge apartment, and it's beautiful with its high ceilings and everything else. And you know, to think they come in and just destroy that just is, you know, and don't understand that they're ruining the value of their own property.
Yeah.
So anyway, they've been pounding next door for like 2 weeks now. And everything I do like this, I have to do in between poundings. So if you hear some pounding while that isn't Bubbles masturbating. So.
And we've got that too. Every apartment building in San Francisco has to be retrofitted for this earthquake crap. Costs about $400,000. So there's
but that retrofitting doesn't ruin the charm of the building.
no.
It basically just creates a new foundation and things like that, and structural points, you know. But load-bearing areas, I don't know. I'm not a, but they don't in San Francisco. They in fact have worked overtime to maintain the integrity, at least of the exterior architecture of buildings. You know, so if you've got a townhouse, they don't want you touching that townhouse. They don't want you ruining the architecture on the front of it. Now, this building is what do you call it? Landmark building. So they can't.
How old is it?
It's 1900.
Wow.
And they can't do anything about the outside, but they can do stuff inside. And so the saving of these buildings isn't, to me, just the outside of the building. It's the integrity of the inside architecture. And it's just been ruined in some of these buildings. They took like apartments like mine, which we have about 11 rooms. I mean, it including bathrooms and a maid's room and a kitchen and a foyer and a living room and a dining room and 3 bedrooms. And
bigger than a house.
Yeah, it is 2,500 square feet.
Holy Christ, it's huge.
Yeah, but what they do is they come in and they take what's the foyer and they put in 2 doors and chop it up into 2 apartments. So just ruining it, you know. So I feel that we're fighting to save the integrity of this apartment as well from these people who would like to pound and, you know, ruin it like they are. So whatever. So what's new with you, Bubs?
Well, I ran across. I remember this when I was younger. I'm sure. I think he might be the first hacker in history. Do you remember the Captain Crunch guy?
Yeah, that was the guy. It's interesting how he discovered what he did. Captain Crunch was the guy who learned how to use the phones for free.
Yeah, this is like I think in the '60s.
And the reason they called him Captain Crunch is because he discovered they had a little whistle as a prize in Captain Crunch, and that if you blew that whistle into the phone, it somehow would do something and you could get free phone calls.
It was, they said it, whatever, it's 2,600 megahertz, which was exactly the wavelength that AT&T had on their long-distance lines.
Right. So he discovered that, and I can't remember who Captain Crunch was exactly.
I think I looked. His name's Thomas Draper, I think. Mm-hmm. And he went to work for Wozniak in the 70s.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that Wozniak had some kind of tie-in with him, because Wozniak, believe it or not, was kind of a hacker in the old days, in the very beginning. You know, the only thing that made him legitimate is he met up with Jobs and they started this company, you know, but otherwise he was making black boxes and doing things like that would allow you to make free phone calls. The phone system.
I think it's Thomas Draper. Anyhow, he actually went to prison for a while.
The phone system actually was very vulnerable in those days because it was just a simple thing. It was wires that went into your house. People could, you know, tap into it. There were ways of making phone calls, and what happened was when you made a phone call or when a phone rang or you picked it up, they could tell you were using the phone at the phone company because the resistance in the line changed. So these guys came up with a black box and a blue box and the whistle and the whole thing, that when somebody would call you or you would call somebody, there was no change in resistance, so you couldn't tell a call was being made. That's how bad the phone system was in those days. They never thought anybody would steal the product, you know? And then they found out everybody would steal the product, and now, of course, in the digital age, you can't do that sort of thing. So,
interesting. You sound like an interesting guy. And then, of course, we're old enough to remember when the phones came. You couldn't unplug your phone.
Oh no, you had to. They were screwed in. There were there 3 or 2 lines, and then you just had to attach them.
Yeah, and you actually paid a rental for the phone to the AT&T, and they were built like tanks.
I don't know if you paid a rental, but they belonged to the phone company.
Yeah, you couldn't own your own phone.
You couldn't own your own phone, and they were made out of very heavy Bakelite, I think. But the great thing here was the thing about the old telephones that really was a wonder to me. They were almost unbreakable.
Yeah.
You know, how many times, well, I don't know if you had the temper I had, but how many times did you actually get mad and yank that phone out of the wall and throw it across the room? And then when you were
it around a lot.
Then you were through with your fit, okay? And you picked up the phone, you screwed it back into the wall, and it worked. You know, I mean, there was they built it so there was virtually nothing you could do to these phones that would ruin them.
Yeah.
And I always thought the phone company, when the new phones started coming out, that they should have come out with an ad saying, remember the time you got mad, you pulled that phone out of the wall and threw it against the room, and then you just screwed it back in and it started working again? That's how good our phones are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they were. I mean, they were almost indestructible.
They were, and the downside was you couldn't, since you couldn't unplug them, and there was no ringer, you couldn't turn the ringer off.
Yeah. No, what they did have so that you could move around the room is you could go out and buy long cords for the handset. Remember, some people had cords that would go halfway across the house.
Curly cords that go 50 feet.
Yeah, yeah. But then they started coming out with the new phones. They came out with the Princess phone. That was the first designer phone I think they came out with. And I don't know if you ever had one of those, but they made a big mistake with the Princess phone. It was very light in the beginning. And if you then tried to dial it, it would move around the table. It had no weight on the bottom. They were very light. So the phone company put in lead weights in the bottom of the Princess phone so they wouldn't move when you tried to dial them. But that was...
we didn't have one, yeah. I do remember they advertised those heavily, and it was a better time.
Yeah, yes, it was. But that was the first time I ever saw the phone suddenly, change from that old Bakelite thing. But prior to what you and I remember as a kid, they had the ones that were had the earpiece on it was like a stand, and you talked into it, and you had to hold up the phone, and then you put the thing to your ear. Do you remember those? A few of those were still around when I was born, but basically I just had the old Bakelite phones. So.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. God, I remember as a kid having the rotary dial, and then they got the touch tone.
Then they got the touch tone, and my mother never could get used to the touch tone, which taught me a great lesson in life, is that as we get older, we cannot learn new tricks.
Right.
My mother was used to using a dial phone, right? Mm-hmm. Now you presented her with a touch tone, and she couldn't figure it out. Hey, Mom, you just hit 1 for 1 and 2 for 2, and you just got the letters on them for the anytime you need a Garfield 3221 or whatever. And she couldn't get with that. She had to have a dial phone. And she could dial really fast. Bah, 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 bah. Now, if I handed a dial phone to a kid today who uses, his cell phone or his touch tone or whatever, he couldn't use the dial phone. It'd be too much. He'd have a hard time negotiating it.
Yeah. As much as I hate change, I never liked the rotary phones. I thought the touch tones were better.
Well, of course. But then again, you were at an age where you could adapt yourself to them very easily, and so could I.
We're no longer adaptable.
We're no longer adaptable. I want things the way they were.
And I just found out I actually went into AT&T.
Yeah.
Thinking about getting the high-speed internet.
Yeah.
So he looks up my building and he goes, "Oh, I don't think it's going to work." He said something about the wiring in the building so old until they upgraded. He said I would get 3 BPS, which I don't know what that means, but he said that's really not much better than dial-up.
Wait a minute. They can't do it?
He said I'd love to sell you that, but he said I got to be honest. He said your building looks so old that it's not going to be much better than dial-up.
Does anybody else in your building have high speed?
They have to. I don't know.
Why don't you ask do you talk to your neighbors?
No.
See, I expected as much. No, but you might ask one of them, do you have high speed? Because I'm sure that I think who are you talking to?
I went to the AT&T store,
and they said that building was too old.
Yeah, he looked it up, and
they can
upgrade the building. He said it wouldn't be worth it.
It wouldn't be worth it.
Because I could get
what for them or for you?
They're offering it for $30 right now, high speed on AT&T.
Well, I mean, God, I've never heard of a building that they can't install it. And in fact, usually they like doing that because if your building doesn't have high-speed lines in there, this gives them an opportunity to put in high-speed lines and sell them to everybody in the building. I find that very hard to believe. I would check with them again.
All right.
Or I would check with another company other than AT&T. Or are they the only ones that supply high speed?
We got Comcast.
Well, call Comcast. See what they can do. People must have. Okay, here I got an answer for you. People in your building must have cable TV. Am I right or am I wrong?
They have to. Yeah, we got techies and young people in the building.
Do you have cable in your apartment?
No.
Oh, gee, boy, you are just the worst. Anyway, you see, you don't have cable in your apartment, but you could have it installed tomorrow if you wanted.
I could, yeah.
Well, then there's your cable. There's your high-speed internet right there.
That's it, right there. Yeah. So I don't know why.
So just have cable installed, and take their internet service.
Yeah, I got this dial-up's killing me.
And you can get the minor version of that. You can get like basic cable and that's it. But once you've got the cable in there, getting the internet is easy peasy. So fuck AT&T that they don't have a phone line in there.
Yeah.
So I just solved your problem for you.
Nothing's easy.
Yeah. But, I know you're the ultimate Luddite, and I appreciate that because I think in this day and age, there are times I've actually thought about taking myself entirely offline. Everything.
There is a small movement that's doing that, and they say they actually feel much better.
Well, I think you would. I mean, I always believed in the promise of this wonderful future. You remember me? I was Mr. Sci-Fi and what the future was going to be like and all that. Well, the future I dreamed about is here. I mean, just like cell phones and things like that. God, it's all the future that I dreamed of. But the fact is that the dream has turned into a nightmare because people have taken advantage of it. And people are ripping people off as a result of it. So people aren't as safe as they were because of the new technology.
Yeah, really.
I have to now, when I'm doing an interview like with you, I have to, in fact, did I take, no, I actually have my iPad in here. Usually I take my iPad and I have my iPhone in here too. Wow, that's terrible. I usually take my phones, put them in the other room, because there are so many of these calls that I get, these robocalls that I get. And, I'm on a do not call list, and I get them.
Oh, me too.
So, I mean, because they don't have to pay attention to them, because actually they're calling you from Russia or someplace like that, and then they're spoofing that it's like, the 415 area code. So it's terrible. I mean, we're just taken advantage of, and people are not, how can I put it? We're not safe anymore. And we're not safe because of the technology. So when you had that little Bakelite phone, you were a lot safer than you are now.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, it was a terrible time, because when you wanted to go deposit to the bank, you had to make sure that you were there while the bank was open. You did. Yeah, I'll tell you, I got a deal. Get rid of all our cell phones, but let's keep the ATMs.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other part of the ATM, which is my cell phone, where I can actually deposit a check by taking a photograph of it. Yeah.
That's so far beyond my capacity.
Yeah. That's that. We know. I have. People don't know this, but I offered you an iPhone, one of my old iPhones, I used to use them iPhones. I have two of them here. Give you the newest one, and that if you want it, fine. But first, you got to get yourself an internet connection.
Yeah.
And then you can, get yourself a deal through AT&T to get the phone turned on, and then you will be wired in, and you can have my phone. But you got to do a few things first before we can get there.
You're going to have to come out here and help me.
Well, I send you the phone, okay? I send you the phone, and then it's going to sit there, right?
Yeah.
You might turn it on once and say, "Ooh, pretty," and that's about it. And it could work without you signing up to AT&T, but then you have to have Wi-Fi. But you don't have Wi-Fi, so
no.
I don't know what we're going to do about you. How did you get this way? You just didn't care?
I think that's it. I'm such a minimalist. I don't like anything new in my life.
Yeah. You're an old man before your time. You're the equivalent of an 80-year-old.
I think I was, because I remember it took me forever. When I was making good money at stand-up, it took me forever to even buy a VCR. I don't know why I didn't do that.
Is it that you just don't care about technology?
I guess not.
You don't care about whatever promise it may bring you. Actually, you're insulated. I mean, who can steal your identity? There's no way they can do it. There's no inroad to stealing your identity. Oh, maybe you got a credit card. I'm sure they can probably.
Oh yeah. So I'm sure there's tons of stuff on me on the internet somewhere. So.
Yeah, well, you're missing things like spam email. Identity theft, all the other wonderful things that go with this part of the. Hey, can I ask you something? Because you work out, right? You run every day.
Every other day, yeah.
Every other day. So I was noticing that my weight was creeping up a little bit, and nothing bad. I mean, I was 144, and as of today, I'm 180. 244. Now I'm 183. All right, but I was like 192 or 3. Okay, but I was like at 185. Now there's not much of a change, that happens on and off. But I started working out. I started going to the gym every day. I do 20 to 25 minutes on the bike. I do a couple of lifts and things like that, and then I maybe take a little bit of a walk. And you guess what? I'm gaining weight.
That's good because you're actually gaining muscle, which weighs more than fat.
Really?
Yeah. So you'll maybe weigh a little more, but your body will look better.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for making me feel good because I've been sticking to my diet 100% and I can't seem to lose.
No, you don't worry about it. You're tall. You got a big frame. I think your weight sounds pretty low to me. My weight is not terrible. Okay.
No, but I don't like to see it going up after I went through that loss. It went all the way down. At one point, and it was just because I was depressed and not eating, went down to 180, but usually it was around 186, 187, and now it's 93 today. And I'm going, what? And I'm dieting, and nothing's happening, and I'm working out.
Well, you're getting muscle.
Well, I don't want muscle.
Muscle's good. Chicks dig it.
I wanted to, help my. I don't know why I'm doing it. I mean, I get on this goddamn, bike and I go nowhere.
Story of our life.
I'm going nowhere. It's like a treadmill to oblivion, as
putting out effort and going nowhere.
As Oscar Levant once referred to, a treadmill to oblivion. So I don't know. I just, but I lost all that weight. I don't want to gain it back, and
no, but you'll look better. It's fine. Don't worry.
I'll look better.
Yeah, because you're.
Well, how can I look better if I never looked good to begin with?
You're shedding fat. You're getting muscle.
Yeah. Well, you're probably in pretty good shape. You were always skinny, right?
I was very fat in high school. That's why I kind of have the thing. I'm kind of like you, too. I watch my weight very carefully, so if it starts to creep up, I freak out.
But then the creep goes down again, I guess.
Yeah.
But I just, I wish I had more of a, it's just depressing me because I don't like working out. I don't like it. I hate it. I hate every minute of it.
Yeah, it's pretty boring.
Yeah, it's pretty boring. I find myself a movie to watch on Netflix, and then I start pedaling away, So, but you wouldn't know about that since you don't have Netflix, you don't have a smartphone.
Well, my sister has Netflix, and that seems like a really great bargain.
Well, it is. It's it's a good bargain, especially if you're my age and you have nothing to do. So it's something to watch,
Well, I love documentaries, and there's a ton of those on there.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that you are listening to a throwback to
a Ted Kaczynski follower.
Ted Kaczynski was right about a lot of stuff. And it turns out every day he becomes more and more right about that stuff. I mean, he was against the way technology was going. And, while his rants were kind of sometimes incoherent, in between the lines, he was saying some very, very important stuff. And maybe we should listen to him.
Maybe he was a genius.
He was a genius. There was no question about that. It's just he was bad at mailing stuff. Anyway. Hey, good talking to you again, my friend.
A great way to end the show.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the ever popular Larry Bubbles Brown.
Bye, Alex.
Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is Gabby, the Great American Broadcast Network.
And here we are, ladies and I got a little frog in my throat. Oh well, okay, that's all right too. Anyway, we're getting into our we're turning on our Skype so that people can Skype me, and then I got to delete all the old ones here because I try to clear this up so that everybody else can have a clear board. You don't know what I'm doing, but if you've ever used Skype, you notice that it lists all the people that you've talked to, and I get rid of those so that I can have a nice clean start here tonight, all right? And we do a thing called the Citizens Panel. That's where we have a group of people calling us, not just one, not just two, but hopefully upwards to 9 other people besides myself. Sometimes it has gone higher, but lately it's been staying somewhere around the 7-ish, 8-ish range, I guess. And if you want to find out how to join the Citizens Panel, it's a very simple process. Just go over to gabnet.net, which is our website, and over on the right-hand side of the page, it talks about how to join the Citizens Panel. It tells you how to download Skype, gives you all the links you need. It's very simple, and if you may have Skype on your machine already and not even know it. But then you call us, and you can be part of the Citizen Panel, and everybody can see your ugly face, okay? All right, so anyway. I'm waiting for callers, and I'm stalling. And one of the reasons I stall is because if I start talking about something and then somebody calls me, I then have to remember what I was talking about, and that's not the easiest thing in the world. Well, here's the first guy to call, and he's usually one of the first to call every night, ladies and gentlemen, the lovely and attractive Phil Meyer. Or as we call him, the person all America loves.
Yeah. Hey, I decided maybe what I should do is just turn off my camera.
Why?
Well, you never see my hand up anyway, so...
Stop it. Now quit getting on my case.
You know, it's... Joe Blow has his hand up.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait, you see, here's what you should do.
Yeah.
You should lower your camera just a little bit so your head is more towards the top.
All
okay.
Right. That means I have to pull down the...
Yeah, there you go. Now, raise your hand. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I have to type everything. There, I see it. It's perfect. Hey, look who's there. By the way, turn your camera sideways, Ray. Then we get a nice panoramic view of it. Oh, there you are.
I was doing my Ted Kaczynski for you.
What are you out doing? Are you out running?
I'm walking the dog.
Oh, as you have in the past, as a matter of fact.
Yes. Yeah.
But it got very dark the last time you walked the dog.
Yeah. Well, it's lighter. It's getting lighter now because the year is progressing.
Yeah, I've heard about that. It has something to do with us going around the sun or something.
No,
the Earth doesn't move, right?
The Earth rotates around the sun.
Not anymore.
It goes.
No, not since Trump's been president.
Right.
Oh, I see. Okay. Now,
Phil,
excuse
me. Do you think the Earth rotates?
Well, no.
I think it's flat.
Yeah, I knew you did. I knew it.
You think it's flat, huh? Here's Bree. We haven't heard from Bree in a while. Let's see if he comes up here. It looks like he's trying. And there he is. Hi, Bree. How are you? Bree, how you doing?
Now, it's early in the morning for him.
Good. How are you, Alex?
Bree, you're calling us from Dubai, right?
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're calling from Dubai?
That's right.
Dubai, right? Okay. Woo. How's everything in Dubai these days?
Yeah. Good morning.
Hello?
Yeah, it's good morning from Dubai.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine who went to Dubai a couple of weeks ago for a vacation and said they had a very nice time. They really enjoyed it. And by the way, if you look carefully, in California, you can see Ray walking his dog. or rather the
there
dog.
She is.
More like the dog walking Ray, actually.
Yeah.
So.
I don't see poopy bags on the leash. Do you carry them individually?
It's in my pocket.
A lot of people carry the.
But
poop.
once there's.
Go ahead.
But once there's poop in it, I don't keep it in my pocket. But you know.
Oh.
Before. Yeah.
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 Look at that.
My girlfriend got a job.
Sideways.
She is walking sideways, isn't she?
Yeah, that's all she always does.
Yeah.
Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah.
I have walking my dog too. In the morning and then in the afternoon. I come home in the afternoon.
That's why I don't have a dog. I don't want to have to do that, you know?
Oh, but it's a nice relationship. The dog doesn't yell at me.
The dog doesn't yell at you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well,
The dog has nothing but love for me.
I don't know. I don't know what I would do about that sort of thing, because I wouldn't like to go picking up poop for my dog. Okay,
it's okay. You know, you get used to it.
Yeah, but you see, if I own a cat, the cat knows where to poop, and that's it.
Yeah,
you know?
Dog's poop is special.
But this dog is like nothing. This dog is so small.
Yeah.
And we feed it the same food for its entire life. It's eating the same food, and it does the same. She poops 2 little things, then she walks about 5 feet, and then she does 1 more little thing, and then she's done. And it's exactly the same way every day.
Does your dog walk in circles before she does the poop?
She does another. No, she just kind of does this weird kind of walk. You know, it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's coming in, 30 seconds or so.
This is the show All America is talking about, where we talk about dogs pooping.
Yeah, that's why Bree called then. Does Bree have a dog?
Bree, do you have a pet?
No, not here. But I used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To walk your pet there would be a pretty hot proposition, wouldn't it?
Well, that's the reason why. And you have to excuse me. I'm hooking up an ear set with a microphone. For some reason, I'm on a new little small tablet, and the audio is, I have cranked, but I can barely hear you. So let me just put the ear sets in. When I lived in New York, I had a dog. I don't know if you can still hear me. I hope you can.
Oh, now we can hear you.
Now it's loud.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Okay, excuse me.
Yeah.
I had an Australian Shepherd, and when I moved to Singapore, I adopted her out. It took me a good part of a year to find a home. A woman who had a border collie lived near Connecticut-New York border. She lived near a big forest, and anyway, I adopted my dog out because I knew she wouldn't like the heat in Singapore, and she was getting a little older, and I didn't know that the flight would be good. So yeah. And here the problem we have is we don't have a lot of green areas. So when people walk their dogs, they tend to do their business on the sidewalk or in the sand, and as a result, you just don't want to have a dog here.
Yeah, but you know what you do want to have. What you do want to have in Dubai is a cat, because they'll think it's just one big cat box.
Now, are the sidewalks? Do the sidewalks burn the bottom of their feet, or do they wear booties? In Dubai?
No.
I heard 20 degrees. I mean,
I heard that most people in Dubai have hot dogs.
Yeah. No. What were you saying? How hot does it get in Dubai, Bree?
I mean, it gets very hot, but it's really hard to explain it. It's not like other places. But we're just sort of used to it, and you get used to it, and it's not such a big deal.
Yeah.
When it's 100 degrees here, Bree, I have to carry my dog to the park, and because if I put her down on the sidewalk, it would hurt her feet. Because the sidewalks.
Yeah, I think because your sidewalks are somewhat limited, so they don't. It's like a heat sink. Since we're mostly concrete, it's all connected. So I guess it diffuses better. I don't know exactly the science behind it, but it's not such a big deal.
Now I seem to hear
and we do have dog parks.
What is that dog doing?
It's rolling.
She's playing in the grass.
I see. Okay, and you don't have her.
Same thing.
You don't have her on the leash right now, right?
No, I took her off.
Okay, is that legal? I mean, is that okay?
No, it's not.
Well, it's a nice thing because it's the leash you can do for her.
She wants to play. Do you have a toy?
I forgot to bring a ball because she's addicted to balls, but that's probably good because that's all I would be doing.
Hey, we were talking about balls last night.
Yeah, we were talking about being addicted.
Oh, yes, I watched the news today.
Yeah.
So did I.
Oh, God.
Poor Ray.
Well, I was thinking like in 3 or 4 generations, if that's still up on YouTube.
Yeah.
And one of my dad's like great grandkids has a big giant dick, he'll know why.
Hey, you know, I figured out why you have hair, Ray. I figured out why you have hair and your maternal grandfather did not.
Why?
Because he was the mailman.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Boy, nobody's watching us.
I think it's just...
Nobody's watching us tonight, and we have a dog playing. That should be... That's the kind of thing... maybe it has to be a cat. I don't know.
Well,
maybe you got to...
Yeah, cats.
Act like a cat. Act like a cat.
Yeah.
Are there any ducklings around that your dog could adopt?
Have
you seen that story?
No, what's that story, Bree?
Oh, that's the big story. There's a dog named Fred. Mm-hmm. There's a Labrador Retriever, and there's a number of ducklings that Fred has adopted.
Yeah.
And it's blowing up on the internet, going completely viral now. All the cute pictures.
You know, I sit here, sit here trying to do a entertaining 2 hours of programming when all I really need to have is a bunch of ducklings with a dog to get millions of viewers.
I'll try to find some ducks.
Yeah.
Is it the
that your dog can adopt?
Is it the product or is it viewers? If you put out a quality product, eventually people may start watching it. But if you do a flash in the pan, like ducks and a dog, where's the creativity in that?
I'll tell you who I resent. There, if you look on your on your YouTube page over to the right, they usually have suggestions of things for you to watch or whatever. It's never ever me, but they suggest things that you should watch. And there's this company called Looper. Have you seen these?
No.
I've got like right now on the side.
They do stuff. Alex, you got to do a commentary about Avengers: Infinity War.
Yeah, well, wait a minute. Looper.
You do that.
Looper. Why do I keep getting Looper? Then there's Joe Bio videos. Then a Saturday Night Live. Then another Looper. And what it is Looper. What Looper does is like the 5 best and worst things in Deadpool 2.
That sounds like Bob.
Exactly.
Joe.
Well, Alex, we have a term in communication theory called surfing.
Yeah.
And so, I thought about this the other day. Like, if you just look at whatever is trending, and then take the words, and then develop something about that. Yeah. So whatever is the current thing that people want to talk about today, you just do that, and top 5 things. Exactly. It's like a formula.
Maybe I should start rename the show like the top 5 things about Star Trek. Actually, you do better if you have the worst moments from the latest Avengers movie. But this Looper, I constantly have this Looper shot, stuck in my face, and I'm going, who are they blowing over at YouTube?
Well, yeah, they're probably paying. They're probably paying for a certain amount of that.
Yeah,
you can pay to boost your presence.
You think maybe YouTube owns them?
Owns Looper? No.
Could be.
I doubt.
I never get Looper on the side. I don't know why.
No, I
feel left out.
I just get things about diabetes.
What do you have? Well, on the videos they say up next. See, it says up next. And what do you have there, Phil?
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
I'd have to look. I'm not watching you on YouTube. I'm, watching the Skype.
Yeah.
Let's see what I got here. YouTube.
Yeah. Do you have YouTube?
Looper was a film in 2012.
What?
Looper was a film in 2012.
You're right. Right. Yes.
Yeah.
About a guy, I think it had to do with going back into the past or looping in the past and into the future and so on. Yeah.
There was also one called Jumper. On the phone, all I see is one thing after another. You got Gabnet, then you got a Ronnie Bennett, then a Shark Tank, fighting an invasive stink bug. National Geographic.
Wow. Well, apparently there must be something about me that is looper friendly.
And here's one: a car since 1957 was lying underground, brand new car. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Those are all the things you could be watching instead of me, folks, if you wanted to right now.
You know, when I was recuperating from the operation, I noticed that I could take my phone on YouTube and I could play it through the Apple TV. And I was too lazy to change it, and I was watching things about the difference between a Telecaster and other guitars, how to tell whether a Gibson is bootlegged or not. I don't even play the guitar. I must have seen 35 guitar videos on, and now I can tell you whether a guitar is bootlegged, whether it's a real Fender or not, and but I can't play.
Hey, folks, tell all your friends there are cute dog pictures on right now.
Look at that. Quiet. People are talking.
Yes.
That's cute.
Well, I'm also watching the Pirates blow a lead in the 11th inning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I watched the Pirates from Pittsburgh Pirates from here. They were doing well at the start of the season, unexpectedly so, but now they're kind of tanking. The last week they've been really bad, and they just blew a lead in the 9th, and now it's an extra inning. So,
wow!
I didn't even know it was baseball season. That's how sports my life.
Well, did you see the NFL is going to fine teams?
Yeah, well, this is
if they
you're going to find the players, all the players.
No. No, you've got it wrong.
Of course.
The NFL is going to fine the teams. The teams can decide what to do with their players.
I see.
The teams are responsible for making their people stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, or for the national anthem. Now, there are two things about this. Number one, I don't think you should have to stand for the national anthem if you don't want to. It's a fucking goddamn song.
If you're going to be an employee of a company and they want you to stand and rub your tummy,
I think my rights are being violated.
Well, you don't have rights when you're an employee.
You can bet your life that the players union is going to go to court on this one.
Well, we'll see. I'm very happy.
Why are you happy? Come on, it's just a fucking song that wasn't made.
I don't think it's related to the job that they do.
It's part of the show.
What do you mean?
I don't know about that.
It's not part of the show.
The thing is we've used the sporting events to, help create our national identity over many, many years. I mean, you may not know, but the military has a relationship, and they have paid for, in some cases, this relationship. And I think, it's an interesting dynamic, to say the least.
Let me ask you this question, Phil. What in the world does the playing of the national anthem have to do with baseball? Football in this case. Football.
It is part. They have determined that it's part of their show, and that's what they put on. But you're an actor.
But you're saying the word show. If it's a show, why should you penalize someone if they don't want to perform in that show?
And fire them. Because, you see, the thing is, if I have...
What do you mean, fire them because they won't stand for a stupid fucking song?
Look, listen to me here. If you were in a play, you're an actor, okay?
Yeah. Wait a minute, there's a dog drinking water. That's cute. That should get us another couple of viewers.
If you were given a script, and the script said that you can't
Wait, I have a question.
come out and put your hat on and sing a song.
You're talking two entirely different things.
It's
Phil.
not. These guys are
no,
I have a
no.
question.
They're paid.
I have
They're
a
not.
question.
They're not being paid to be performers. They're being paid to be athletes. Yes, Bree.
Do students in school in the U.S., because I don't know this, do they still have to rise to say the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of the school day?
No.
Okay.
No, they don't.
So why? Why? Because I had to do that
in school.
What?
They're not being paid to be in school.
You don't understand, Phil. You're mixing up show business with football.
Football is show business.
And also,
they got advertisers.
Okay. Let me posit you this, okay?
Yeah.
Let's say you have a choice. Do you have a choice of not standing?
No.
No. And why don't you have that choice?
Because that's when you were hired. That was
no, that wasn't in the contract. That wasn't in the contract.
Who is playing that was there in 2009 that is there now? How many of those players are still there?
I sincerely doubt that even to this day they have to sign a piece of paper in their contract saying they will stand for the national anthem.
Well, they are going to now.
That violates their civil rights.
It doesn't violate
anything. Absolutely.
Look, Ray, listen, Ray is an actor. He's given a script. He's told you
can't equate the two. You're trying to equate them, and they have nothing. Would you agree, Ray? They have nothing to do with each other, right?
Nothing.
They
have nothing to do with each other. No, they don't.
I have an employee, and I want them to say, "Thank you for coming into our store. We love you. Here's a bottle of water."
That's not playing the fucking national anthem. That's not saying you have to stand, put your hand over your heart for something if you don't want to do it.
So you put your hand over your heart and you say, "Can I offer you a cup of coffee or a bottle of water?" It's the same thing.
Wait. Do all the teams have a clause when you join that says you have to stand and put your hand over your heart?
I think it's a rule. I think it's a rule.
No, it may
in the National Football League or by
team?
team?
I think so.
But national.
We don't. That's what we have to know, because if it is, and you sign the thing, then I guess you got to do it. But I don't know the answer to that.
They are being given an option. They are being given an option that if they don't want to stand, they can stay in the
dugout,
the wherever the locker room until it's through. So people can go, is it all clear? Is the national anthem over with? Is that song they sing, that piece of that anybody can stand for? I think it takes more to not stand for it than to stand for it.
Well, just in Phil's defense, okay, say I had an equity contract for a play, and part of it was that I had to go to the curtain call and bow. Mm-hmm. And if I didn't, I'd be breaking the contract. Now, I don't know if that's within the rules of Actors Equity, but they could fire me for it if Actors Equity approved of that requirement. So if they're allowed to stay in the locker room instead of taking a knee, and in the contract it says if you're on the field you have to put your hand in your heart, then they're breaking the contract, and they could be fined or fired or whatever.
Yeah, but we don't know whether it's in those contracts or not. But let's talk about the morality of having to do this in the first place. To begin with, this is a piece of music that wasn't our national anthem before I think about 1936, and then before that, I think "America the Beautiful" was used in a lot of places. Other songs were used elsewhere, but there was no national anthem, so we made it a national anthem. And we then think of this horrible piece of music, by the way, as revered in some way. Well, to say that people have to act in a certain way when that song is played is really jingoistic, because anybody, Islamic terrorist could put his hand over the heart if he wants to pass as an American. It's jingoistic. It doesn't matter. It's meaningless. And I think that people have decided not to stand for it because they felt that that song somehow represented a certain amount of oppression to them. And I think they have that right. Okay? No, they don't have a right. So they don't have a right to freedom of speech.
That's why they're called.
They don't have
called professionals.
They,
you know, if it was
Phil,
if there's a high school kid,
and the planning is okay.
What'd you say, Bree?
Well, I think what they're planning is okay, and they're saying, look, if you want to, you can come out and stand for the national anthem. However, if you were planning on taking a knee, please stay in the locker room. So, in a way, they do. If I'm reading it correctly, they now have this choice.
They actually have a bigger problem, though, Bree. Suppose nobody comes out.
That's okay.
Well, it ain't going to make the team look good.
That's likely.
Huh?
Yeah, and I think that's probably likely to some extent.
Yep.
Because I don't like when any time I'm told that something is mandatory. Boy, I don't like that. You know.
There's also another problem here, Bree. You got to remember what color are the majority of people who are playing football? They're black. And this is really a black argument, okay? And was started because of certain feelings that blacks had about this. They would now be in bad stead with their own community if they did come out. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I say eliminate football.
Bother me. Lose. Yeah. They just hit we almost. Okay, they're calling him out. Okay, it's in the bottom of the 11th, and they bunted. We threw it. It hit their player. Very unusual play. It hit him in the head.
Oh, wait a minute.
But he had a helmet.
Hold on a second, Bree. Does this?
Yeah.
What you're doing right now? Is this any description of a National League football game that you're doing?
No, Major League Baseball game, but
yeah, but you just broke.
It's in delay.
You just broke the law.
I'm delayed.
No, but any description.
No, but he's out of the country. There's no jurisdiction over there.
No, but there is here, and he's doing it on my air, and I could get sued. Huh?
Okay, all right. Sorry about that. I think there is a delay.
Yeah.
There is the delay,
I'm not doing it live. Any recreation or depiction of this game is expressly prohibited without the written permission of the commissioner of baseball.
It's news about.
Hey, Bree.
It's news about. Yeah.
There is a delay. That game was last week.
Yeah.
How's
it turn out?
Ray is doing. Ray's trying to tell us something.
I didn't watch that one.
Hold on a second.
I just have a thought about the not coming out versus the taking a knee. I don't see how one is going to be any different than the other. If people don't come out, you're going to notice they didn't come out, and they're going to make a big deal about it when they run back on the field. Versus taking a knee, I don't see how one is.
I think you're going to find whole teams staying in the locker. I think.
Why?
I hope they lose their fan base.
Yeah, because they'll have to decide on that. But I think that they just look at it as another opportunity to take a little extra time to get ready, and they don't have to participate in that that part of the show.
No, they can beat their wives out there and girlfriends.
But they are there to play the game, to be athletes. They're not there to help, boost the national image. So I think that many of them probably will stay in their locker.
Right.
And it'll just become a habit.
But then they're going to make a statement. So what they're going to come running out. They're going to come running.
Just late.
They're going to come running out, and they're going to make a big deal out of it. And people are either going to boo them or cheer for them, depending on what side they're on. And it's just going to have the same effect as taking a knee.
Patrick Lazick just wrote me. He says, "Stand for the anthem." And
I could give a shit.
So I told Paul. He says he's getting in the shower. I told him to have fun. He says Alex knows my view anyway.
Yeah, I know his view on these things. Yeah. But we wouldn't mind hearing it, especially from the shower.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I always thought taking a knee was somewhat respectful. I mean, they're saying, we don't like what's going on, So it's not like the Black Power thing where people were raising their hand with the black glove and it was kind of an aggressive move. This is more of like, look, we don't like what's going on. We're gonna take a knee instead of stand to show that there's a problem and we want to address it. I mean, to me it's very civilized. I don't understand the whole.
But wait a minute, hold on a second, Phil. Let me say something since this is my show.
It is.
Yeah, it was. At least I'm paying the bill for it. Anyway, the fact of the matter is that when you meet the Queen, what do? You kneel. Or when you're knighted, what do? You kneel. Kneeling.
Did Trump kneel?
Huh?
Did Trump kneel when he met the Queen?
Trump, we wouldn't want Trump to kneel. He couldn't get back up again.
I know that feeling. But no, and what about they bowed to that king, the king of Saudi Arabia, and things like that. We don't do that, and even as Jews, we don't do that.
Well, I mean, we don't do that, but what I'm saying is that bowing is not considered discourteous.
Well, maybe in Japan,
taking the knee is not considered discourteous. As a matter of fact, in the old days in England, if you didn't take the knee to the Queen or to the groin, get your head
cut. Well, isn't it better in America where all you got to do is stay in the locker room?
Look, I love Kaepernick. I love Kaepernick. I love the whole dust-up that he's created. And it is so silly, and it is so stupid, and it's not why I'm an American. I'm an American because I have the freedom to decide what I'm going to do and the free will to decide what I'm going to do. And I, as a employee of somewhere, I have rights beyond being an employee.
Yeah, you got a right not to play the game for that team. If God. The rule is that's the rule.
Can you believe this, Ray?
Yes.
No, I mean, to me, it's the taking a knee is simply saying we don't like what's going on, but it's a respectful gesture. It's not a gesture of aggression or anything like that.
Respectful, Ray. He had socks with pigs on it. It was an anti-police
socks with
Black
pigs.
Lives Matter protest, and it was put in the face of the fans and the people that pay him.
Well, what if he had socks with pigs on it while he had his hand on his heart? I mean, what does that have to do with anything?
Well, because they were police pigs.
Well, okay, good, because black people are getting shot at all the time. Good for him.
And cops aren't?
I'll bet you there are more blacks.
I didn't say cops weren't.
I bet there are more blacks have been shot by cops than cops have been shot by blacks. And I'll take that bet to the bank.
Yeah, well, it just so happens that there's a lot of crime in black areas.
Oh, there's a lot of crime in police areas too.
Well, they have.
There's a lot of.
But
okay, that's just racist.
Well, I like.
No,
let Bree say something.
Because there's a hell of a lot of white collar crime that rip people off way more than the black crime.
Yeah.
And hurt millions and millions of people every day, and have taken old women's, old ladies' living and put them on the street and all this crap.
White collar crime, you have, as the victim, you have a choice of whether to involve yourself or not.
Oh, God.
The crime where somebody hits you over the top of the head and takes your purse, that you don't have a choice.
And white people do that to other people, too. And black people do it to black people.
Hey,
and white
there
people
are
do it
white
to white
people that live in high crime black neighborhoods, too.
Mm-hmm.
And there are black people that live in high crime
Look.
I mean, come on.
It's not okay to be a black criminal in America, but it's okay to be a white criminal and have your name be Trump or Kushner or Cohn.
Hey, Kushner got his pass back.
Yeah, so
well, that must mean that he's not a criminal because he passed the background check.
Yeah. Yeah, how many people pass background checks that then go back into their place of work and shoot the place up?
Only postal employees.
And also, who's his father? His father-in-law?
Well, hey, just because his father-in-law served or his father served time, there's no reason to discriminate against him.
Uh-huh.
That's racist.
No, I agree with that. I never want to. I don't think there's any criminalization by association in those terms.
Here comes
crime.
Brian. Let's get Brian's 2 cents worth on this deal.
Trump is not allowed to block people from Twitter now.
Oh yeah, well, we'll get into that in a moment. I want to get to that one too. Yes, hello, Brian. You've been listening to what's going on here?
I just tuned in, but you wanted my input on something?
Oh yeah, the whole thing with the NFL saying that the teams have to.
I got to get ready for work. I'll try to check back in a half an hour or so. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
But it's okay.
Okay.
Take care.
Talk to you later, Bree.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks for
Talk to you
calling.
later.
Hope we hear from you later. Okay. No, we were talking about the whole thing with the NFL passing this rule today. That the teams have to make their people, bow for the national anthem.
Stand for the national.
Stand for the national anthem. Okay.
Yeah.
Bow.
And
stand.
the glorious fascist state of America.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I have more of the other thing about Trump being blocked from
Twitter.
blocking people from his Twitter account.
Yeah.
I heard that on the radio, actually, on my way to the house here.
Yeah.
And all I had to say to that was, good. I hope the motherfucker has a stroke. I hope he fucking passes out on account of the fact that he can't be the dictatorial cocksucker that he normally is by his very nature, because he's going to have to listen to people like me bitch to him, and I'm going to get right to his fucking face, and I'm going to point my little finger at him, this one right here. I'm going to stick it right up his fucking nose.
I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian.
And
I hope he has an aneurysm. I hope he has bleeds from his eyes. I'd love to see that happen.
Oh,
Schadenfreude to the extreme, more like Schadenfrenzy. My frenzy, where my eyes turn white like a great white shark because of the suffering.
You are a sick man. I love it.
Yeah, he is.
Well, like Dexter Morgan sick, not like Donald Trump sick, where I prey on the weak. I prey on the predators, which is what I aspire to be like.
You mean lowering drug prices by 30% is preying on the weak?
Who's lowering drug
It
prices?
certainly wasn't Trump.
Lower my
Well, how did he lower drug prices, Phil?
He's doing it right now.
How-
What they've done is they're working with the drug companies. I'll find the article, but
I'm sure you will, Phil, and it probably won't say exactly what you're telling us.
I'm sure it will. He's lowering drug prices, and he's negotiating with these guys. And
Until I hear
because
credible
the
sources
great
that are regarded as
negotiator that he
statements.
is, he was one of the best negotiators in the history of business.
Yeah, look at China.
What do you mean,
A
look
lot of
at
people
China?
don't
Now
know
they've
that.
agreed that they're going to buy more American goods. They've agreed that they're not going to steal our technology.
Yeah,
what
and
they're
also
doing?
we've
What
agreed
Rubio
to help their companies out. We're kowtowing to them as well.
Are you talking about the cell phones?
Huh? Yeah.
Are you talking about that ZTE? I understand all we did was tell them that we weren't going to sell them the semiconductors anymore.
No. He wanted to help save ZTE.
No, he helped save 50 jobs, 50 Chinese jobs. So it's no longer make America great again. It's make China great again. So thank you for that.
Renee, ladies and gentlemen.
Nuclearization of the North Korean peninsula, then I think it's a good thing.
And did you hear what happened to the coal miners now? They've actually gotten a hold of all of the coal miners that will be doing the work. And it was something like 80% of them have black lung disease. And on top of that, would you like to know how much it costs to replace a lung in the United States?
I've coughed up a lung a couple of times.
This over $1 million. So you've got two lungs. One's got black lung. It's got to be removed. and you're going to suffer with one lung unless you've got like $1 million to get that
And
second
Trump
lung.
wants to help
As
send
you
them back.
likely know, the mining companies for the longest time, for decades, denied that even black lung disease existed in the first place.
Absolutely. And it was, we just heard it on NPR. It is an astounding amount of people in that industry that
My
have
father
this
was a coal
disease.
miner. He can tell you the stories.
Really?
So, and then as far as standing for your, you know what, Phil, they're not performance artists. Ray is a performance person. No, they're sporting athletes. This is a sporting event. This is not a play where I go give them money and Ray's going to bow for me because that's what Ray has got to do. It's a sporting event, and it's pretty vicious of a sporting event if you ask me.
One that inflicts brain damage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Suppose.
But in the NFL's defense and in the players' defense on that regard, in that context, they know what they are signing up for.
Well, now they do. They didn't before.
This is true.
The reason I stopped watching NFL was because of Junior Seau.
I don't understand.
He shot himself in the chest.
Yeah. He shot himself. So fantastic guy, a wonderful role model. Did a lot of amazing things.
Hold on a second.
He was so depressed.
Hold on a moment.
Uh-huh.
Ray, are we getting a rerun? Didn't the dog just do that a while back?
They're full of water.
Yes, but she loves this thing. Loves it.
Oh,
She's
okay.
adorable.
All right. I was
She's
just.
really pretty.
It is an awfully cute dog.
Yeah,
You know, can I just say one thing about one of the big differences here? Okay, you're forcing people to take a political stance when you have them stand in a certain way and respect the flag and all that. In the theater world, that would never happen. You would never force anyone to make a personal statement that they didn't believe in. That would not happen. The union would not allow that. I know that for sure.
Well, the union's not, for the most part, allowing the Roger Goodell to dictate the terms and conditions of this anyhow.
Good. They shouldn't.
They're saying a lot of them are saying, "Hey, we'll pay the fine. Fuck you."
Yeah.
Yeah. They should be on the player side. Absolutely.
Oh, big time.
Players should be. Yeah.
It's sad. I agree.
And you know why Goodell's doing this and why the NFL's doing it? Their television ratings are down.
Yeah,
and
they're going to continue to drop.
According to Dino, I can't pronounce his name, Dino Badala, that many of the left-wingers, or people who lean left, were tuning out on account of how blacklisted that Colin Kaepernick was this past football season. So they were saying,
so
no,
it wasn't, but they're trying to make it seem like
most people feel like I do.
No, actually they don't.
No,
but you're right. So the next time that you little white people that don't have $75 a seat ticket to go to a goddamn
$75 a seat, it's more like $150.
Yeah, that's cheap. So if you can't even come up with $75 a ticket to stand up in the upper area, then shut the fuck up about the players, because we don't want to hear it.
What's your problem?
The players should just, ultimately, the players, if it comes to this, the players should just leave and start their own new league.
Well, and then yeah, I agree with that, because I
Phil, to that. Sorry.
Yeah, yes, Ray.
Why wouldn't you want people to exercise their freedom of speech? I don't understand that. Why would you not?
I am very happy if they exercise their freedom of speech, but there's a time and a place, and when they're
wait a minute. Freedom of speech is an absolute. It's not an either or.
Well,
there's no time and place for protest.
What the cast of Hamilton did to Vice President Pence either. I felt that was totally out of place.
Why?
I don't know.
Pence showed up to the theater, and whenever he shows up in public,
a ticket.
No. Okay, so hold on. You're telling me that the man who was just elected as the vice president of the United States had a ticket that he bought to Hamilton, as opposed to his sorry white ass was let into that place?
You're a bigot.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second, Phil. Phil, how do you know he paid? Wait a minute. How do you know he paid for that ticket?
He said he did.
Pay for it. He did not pay for it. There is no way. I mean, how far out is Hamilton to buy a ticket? 4 months? 6 months to get a Hamilton ticket?
He bought.
And he just happened to have it.
Yeah.
Well, he might have bought it, but he got preference in terms of.
Well, let's just say he bought the damn ticket, because it makes no difference to me. As far as I'm concerned, it's immaterial whether he paid for it or not. The fact is, they had every right to.
If I saw,
what did they do?
If I was walking down the street, wait a minute. If I was walking down the street and Pence was coming at me from the other direction, I would give him the fucking finger. Okay,
That's your prerogative. You can do that under free speech. But when the guy buys a ticket,
when a guy buys a ticket, wait a minute, wait a minute. Okay, so you're placing a price. You're placing a price on freedom of speech. It's the cost of a ticket. You say that the cost of a ticket gives you the right to have people do things they don't feel morally right to do. Yes,
this is not
yes.
And there's no place
in a
time
crowded
for
theater.
protest.
What did they do? I have
so
one
we have
of
to
my
go
best
back.
friends is in that show.
All right, so go ahead.
Who wants to explain it to Ray?
We'll go, Phil. Go ahead.
All right. Pence went to see Hamilton, and at the end of the show, the members of the cast from the stage singled him out, and
they didn't
sort of
single him
lectured.
out.
Let him finish.
They didn't single him out, but go ahead.
All right, and they lectured him on what they feel that he should do. And it just wasn't appropriate.
Now we'll hear the truth of what really happened from somebody who knows Renee.
Okay, so the man was just elected vice president of the United States. He got his sorry ass hands on tickets to Hamilton, which were a very difficult ticket to get.
Well, that's fine. I mean, a lot of people get favored.
Wait, hold on. Let her finish.
He went in, he watched the play. The actual actors in the play came out at the end when they were going to stand up, do their bow thing. They made a very nice, intelligent speech about how they felt about somebody jackass like Trump. And they made their statement and they left. And all of the little white people went ballistic saying, "Oh, you picked on our vice president. Oh, my God. Hey. Man."
You know, this is well said from somebody who believes in killing babies, that it could be black or white.
Okay, start with killing babies. Almost every woman on
where did that come from, Phil? Where the fuck did that come from?
So let's talk
that
about
came
that.
from an equal thing of her bigotry against white people.
My bigotry against stupid white people.
The elitist liberal knows who's stupid and who's smart.
I hate. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I hate fucking white people. Okay.
Yeah, that's why you live in Harlem.
Yeah.
Let's get this straight. All right. I don't hate men. I don't hate black people. I don't hate white people. I don't hate Hispanic people. The line is drawn. I don't hate Muslim people when you're an idiot.
Oh, but
I'll take it even further, Renee.
You're the judge and jury that can say whether one is an idiot and one is not an idiot.
This is Brian's tag. Go.
Yes, Brian has his hand up.
Let me take what Renee said and extrapolate on that. She said what she said. I'm going to say what I say, which is I tolerate people. What I can't tolerate, what I can't stand, is ignorance and false senses of entitlement.
There you go.
Well,
that's a good one.
If anyone has a false sense of entitlement, it's you.
Really? Yeah. You don't think I've earned my I'm an American woman. I have worked all my life, and between Marty and myself, we've saved a lot of money. I have earned my right to open my mouth when I see some jackass doing something stupid. And if you think I don't have a right to open my mouth, you're wrong.
No, you don't have a right to spew the bigotry and hatred towards white people that you're spewing.
Phil, I don't think she's been spewing
bigotry and hatred towards white people. I mean, not only is she herself white, and I myself white, but like she's in a way saying what I was saying.
Well, it's white. It's her white guilt that.
It's not guilt.
Whole sense of entitlement and ignorance.
No. Okay. You know my guilt is because right now, you guys are creating Donald Trump is going to create another level of poor in the United States, and you're not paying attention to how many people that's going to hurt.
You mean
you don't care.
You mean the 3,300,000 people that have got jobs since he became president?
Right. Yeah, because you know what? I'll go to CVS right now and get a job for $10 an hour, and that'll make
by the way, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Those jobs don't pay what they used to. Let's go to Ray. Ray?
I just want to say something quickly about Hamilton. I mean, Renee, you said they did it in a respectful way, and they did.
You can go online and see it.
Okay, I will. Okay, so I just want. This is not uncommon on Broadway. I've been to many Broadway shows where at the end they come out and they talk about AIDS, they talk about political things. It happens a lot. They do it on. They do it during the curtain call.
Right.
They don't do it to an individual.
The white people.
Did they mention his name? Did they say Pence?
Yes, they did.
Then you're gonna love. Then you're gonna.
Did they do it in a respectful way?
Then you're gonna. Okay, then you're gonna love the story I'm about to tell you.
But did they say, Mr. Pence? Well, this is what we would like. This is what we hope you do, or something.
Something.
I'm sorry, Alex.
That, yeah.
I'll shut up.
No, you're right. It was something like that.
Phil's gonna absolutely love this story. Years ago, I went to see Peter Cook and Dudley Moore do their show on Broadway, and I was there, and sitting in the seat in front of me was Henry Kissinger. And when at the end of the show, Peter Cook and Dudley Moore came out and said, "Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have a doctor in the house. Will you stand up, Dr. Kissinger?" I booed him right in his ear.
Excellent.
You see, you are in the audience.
By the way,
right.
I was then tackled. Okay, but my feeling was these people who were perpetuating the war in Vietnam should not be allowed to go anywhere and think they had a free pass because they were somehow everybody respected
Splitting
them.
hairs, Phil.
Bennett, it's too bad they didn't have a taser in those years.
Yeah, well, you know what?
They should drag you out
that motherfucker myself.
The scene, disturbing the peace.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that Pence would like the fact that somebody expressed themselves and said what they would like him to do. You would think that he would like that. Why not? Why wouldn't he like that as the Vice President of the United States? Why?
I don't know why he would like it or wouldn't like it. I just thought it was inappropriate.
Well, I'm telling you, Phil, they do it all the time on Broadway. They do it all the time. I've been to many shows. They have AIDS stuff. They have Black Lives Matter. They do all these things.
Support this and support that is not singling out an individual in the audience.
But he is the vice president, and they were telling him what they were hoping that he would do. You said he just got elected, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what's wrong with that? How is that a problem?
It was disrespectful.
Yes,
the little
brother.
white men with the little white
or an individual.
I'm going to have to go watch to see how disrespectful it was. I'm going to go watch it.
It's all over.
They have it on film. I don't know.
I doubt it was disrespectful.
Did they allow?
I really doubt it.
In a during a show?
We have no idea, Phil.
It was the end of the show, Phil. That's number one.
Well, somebody probably filmed it illegally and put it up.
Well, then we can put if we find any more details on this, we can post it on one of the Facebook pages.
Yeah,
well, I'm gonna go watch it.
Just go to YouTube and search it.
I'm sure you can. That's what I was thinking. It's probably on there somewhere.
Sake. And Phil, just because you were the little white people were all upset about it, doesn't mean any of us have to give a shit about it. You went to a theater, they upset you people, and it's a big deal. The rest of us don't give a fuck.
Yeah, do you feel good about that? You know,
I feel fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm glad they said something.
I'm almost experiencing an orgasmatic sense of joy here.
Hold on a second. Everybody,
Alex found it.
Be quiet for a second. This was in a newscast on CNN, and this was part of it. And they go to a video, and let's see what they have to say here. Wait a minute. I have to do this.
And as they took their curtain call, one of the stars of the musical had this message for him. Listen.
You know, we had a guest in the audience this evening. And Vice President-elect Pence, I see you walking out, but I hope you will hear us just a few more moments. There's nothing to move here, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing to move here. We're all here sharing a story of love. We have a message for you, sir. We hope that you will hear us out. And I encourage everybody to pull out your phones and tweet and post, because this message needs to be spread far and wide, okay? Vice President-elect Pence, we welcome you, and we truly thank you for joining us here at Hamilton and American Musical. We really do. We, sir, we are the diverse America who are alarmed and anxious that your new administration will not protect us, our planet, our children, our parents, or defend us and uphold our inalienable rights, sir. But we truly hope that this show has inspired you to uphold our American values and to work on behalf of all of us. All of us. Wonderful American story told by a diverse group of men and women of different colors, creeds, and orientations.
Okay, so that was what they said. I didn't find anything too terrible.
This whole notion of disrespectful, I thought that in order to get respect, you had to earn it first.
Yeah.
And so far, even especially after 2 years into his presidency,
No, you don't have to give it. You have to earn it. You people who want it, you have to earn it. Ray, go ahead and tell us this.
I thought that was excellent, and they put it in the context of the show.
No.
The show is about what he talked about. Hamilton is the theme of Hamilton is about what he reiterated the theme of Hamilton and was respectful to Vice President-elect Pence, saying, we hope that you adhere to what the theme of this show is. That's all he said.
Just because he claimed he was respectful doesn't mean he was respectful.
He was. I just heard it.
Thank you. Oh, wait. Hold on. I can do both, right? Yesterday you did both.
Work the shaft.
Okay, work the shaft. Work the shaft.
Work the shaft.
Yeah.
My take on it, if anybody cares, is that I thought it was very respectful. I thought it was an ability for a group of people to redress their grievances to somebody in power who may take that word back to Washington with him and express what they had expressed to him.
What happened after that? And what happened after they said that?
Nothing. Pence tried to get out of there before anybody even nailed him.
But Donald
Trump... When he started to leave.
No, he was leaving already, and they said, if you could stop for a moment, and we'd like to talk with you.
No. I just think that was...
it was Donald, you're right, Renee. I think I know where you're getting at. It was Donald Trump who flustered, huffed, and puffed, and Mike Pence just,
Yeah, so Mike Pence, here's the deal.
Being political that he is, it just said, okay, I wasn't offended.
Yeah.
You're right. So what Brian was saying was right. This wasn't... So Mike Pence has enough class to have gotten out of this situation. And he did. He did with the utmost, I don't know, adulthood that comes from the Republican Party. But it wasn't him that started this fight. It was the jackass Trump that started this fight.
I think it was the jackass actor that did it.
Oh, bullshit.
You know, the guy was just there. Just because he belongs to your union doesn't necessarily mean you have to support him. You know, Trump was there. Not Trump.
What does that have to do?
Look at, there you go.
Pence was there as a audience member, and you just don't do that.
What?
No matter what you're
He's vice president of the United States. You're never there as an audience member. You're no matter where you go. If you're vice president of the United States, you're vice president of the United States.
And he does his job that he gets paid for. And
right. Collusion is
the vice president, not to get called out at a Broadway show.
Collusion is one of those things he gets paid for too. We've already seen that report.
You know, there's no collusion. That's what the
prostitute does a better job being a prostitute than Vice President Mike Pence does of being the vice president.
Well, the problem with collusion in Trump is he feels that if he can't spell it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it's beefy.
You can't pronounce it either.
Yeah.
Well, neither can she. Oh, yeah. Oh, what was her name?
You're making fun of Melania's accent because she's a foreigner. Now,
well, I think she's been here long enough to speak better English, okay?
The other
she speaks
no. It's the blonde bitch that I'm talking about. What's her name?
Tommy Lauren?
No, Ivanka.
By the way, did
the incestuous daughter?
Did Melania ever become is she a citizen?
You're welcome for that image, by the way.
She is.
Are you sure she's a citizen?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Have you seen the papers, Phil?
What's
running the bathroom, the hurl.
Ray's dog uses those papers.
What? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. We've been joined by John Perulis. Hello, John. And there.
Hi. I got a bowl full of cherries.
Oh, okay.
See,
Good.
life is a bowl full of cherries.
Hey,
Brian, I think you are a funny guy. I'm so happy to see you here.
I'm just honest.
Hey, John, I thought
I was just going to ask if you popped any of those cherries, but I guess not.
I set myself up for that one.
Yeah.
You kind of did.
Maui Brewing Company. Beer, huh?
We heard that the volcano has reached.
Probably washed the taste of the vomit in her mouth that I put in her whenever I made that visual image in her mind.
Renee, can you hear us now?
Hey, John's here. Yeah.
Now I heard that the lava has reached the water from the volcano.
That was about 4 days ago, Phil.
Right.
It's flowing like a freaking river.
Okay.
So it's like two landings in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we have a new word, and it's called blaze.
Right, and that's what I want to know if that reached your side of the island.
Oh no, it had no. So this stuff, when it hits the water, that kind of action or reaction keeps it pretty down low to the water. All the stuff everybody else is worried about is when the top cauldron gets clogged, and then that sends up up to 30,000 feet. That sends up stuff you're not supposed to breathe. So when it hits the water, it kind of stays close to the surface. But the stuff that comes out of the explosion, that can get blown around quite a bit. And it was up here over the weekend, but I've got the air conditioner on and the windows shut, so I'm not worried about it.
But so and the lava hitting the water just is going to make the island bigger. Where did everybody go? We suddenly lost a whole mess of viewers. Wow.
Maybe I should go away.
No, don't worry.
Argue more.
Don't worry about it.
You know what? Yesterday I was listening to you guys, and I was going to call in, but I wanted to see the weather. See, that's the problem with your new time slot. Is it coincides with the weather? But you guys were just...
Wait a minute, my new time slot?
Well, see, when you guys... All right, let's rephrase that. When the time... when daylight savings time happened, you messed up my time to actually see you. So now you come in at the same time. The news
Marco Rubio, by the way, and I can come to an understanding and complete agreement on the whole daylight savings time being a fucking joke thing, by the way.
Wow, you have something in common with Marco Rubio?
Oh, yeah, that.
Oh, there you go.
Because he was
I'm
saying
telling you, this guy's a natural.
Did they not have daylight savings time in Arizona?
So Arizona...
Well, there are some parts of the country that don't observe it.
And us are the two states that I know of. There might be other states.
There are counties in Indiana.
Okay, so we don't flip. When we flip, we're only 2 hours behind you and not 3 hours behind you, kind of thing.
So there's 2 divide by 1.
The most sensible people.
Too much math.
The most sensible people.
Hey,
gee, can I say something here? Can I say something here? Can I say something here?
What?
Oh God.
Nope. Sorry.
Raise your hand, Alex.
Go ahead, raise your hand.
Alex has something to say.
Go ahead.
What I was going to say is the smartest people in the world are the Chinese. How many time zones do you think they have in that whole big country? One. Yeah.
One.
And that makes sense. I mean, and we needed to get rid of this, but there's a lot of things.
Yeah, I would agree. It's not just the Chinese, maybe Western Europe, and it's certainly not in this country, America.
Yeah. Mr. Perulis has his...
Hey, I want to know, Ray Renati, did you get an angry call from your dad yet?
Oh shit. No, I'm just hoping that thing disappears into the netherworld.
Oh, I heard that yesterday. I was rolling on the floor.
Actually, I was kind of planning.
I mean, I loved it, but
I was kind of planning on putting it permanently on the Gabnet website.
Right. Knowing Alex, he's going to make a PSA.
You should hire a sketch artist to put some illustrations up too.
Rob's going to turn it into a promo.
Yeah.
Okay. People with longer attributes
go ahead, you can say penis. Come on, say penis, Renee. Come on, say penis. Say penis.
Well, there's also
penis.
Do they have as prostate problems have any relation to the length of your member?
No, not at all. I hope not.
Alex. Alex just gave us a little hint.
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't get that. I don't want
I think I've heard that there is a relationship between prostate cancer and short penises.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Mrs. Perellis.
Perullis.
What? What's up?
I'm trying to read, and all I can hear is.
Oh, my wife's complaining against me. I've got to go in another room.
We're so sorry.
Okay.
Well, at least she's getting an education on this side.
It's amazing, how we're all pussy whipped by our wives.
Having respect for somebody who's into this is something.
Okay, just chill out. I gotta go into
our latest big fight. Our latest big fight. Get this. This is the kind of thing you fight with each other over when you get older. Alex, will you always turn the light out in the bathroom so if I wake up in the middle of the night to go pee, I don't have a light in the bathroom?
Put a night light in.
Well, you know what my problem is? I have headphones or earplugs in, and I talk louder, so my voice.
But my point was, I was saying to her, but everything we do is because it has to be done for her. The fan has to be on because it's too hot. The light has to be on because she may pee in the middle of the night. But I pee in the middle of the night and I'm still awake, so I have the light on so I can read things while I'm in there.
You can hear the water when you're peeing.
Okay.
But I have to say, if she's listening, it was a pretty stupid argument we were having here over that.
But you know what? The Toto can fix all that.
Oh, really? Does it turn the lights on and off?
It has a light. Some Totos have a light in the seat, and it just highlights the seat.
But how am I going to read from the light in the seat if I'm sitting on the seat?
Because your head is in the seat. Think about it. If you're kneeling in front of it and you're looking into it, pointing to the throne, you got a light right there, a ring light that you can use to read.
And that's another thing. Why is it that you guys are so just like, okay, so when we didn't attack her. Who's the broad that stands up every day with the fake eyelashes and the makeup and does a speech?
Pelosi?
No, and we talk about that in a minute. No, his actual press secretary that gives.
Yeah, I know who.
Huckabee Sanders.
So here's the deal: when she was attacked, or when Wolf made comments about her, she did not have a problem with the comments. All right. Sarah Huckabee Sanders didn't say shit about what was said to her.
She has too much class.
What you stupid little men did, and I'm going to give you a little hint here. You stupid little men took up for her and didn't let her speak for herself. Trump said, "Oh, you shouldn't attack her," and all of the rest of you little men said, "Oh no, she's doing the job that she's supposed to be doing."
And you'd call her chauvinist if we let her.
No, she didn't say a damn word. It was just listening to the men. No, see, that's the point. She did have to. It was her voice. They were coming after her. The point wasn't that you need to open your mouth. You don't need to take up for her. You don't need to take up for a woman if she's a real woman. And
what were they attacking her on? I'm lost. Were they attacking her based
no, what
on
it was, the chorus.
lies,
No, the chorus.
on facts, on issues concerning her profession, not issues concerning her appearance.
It was a chorus.
Her weight.
Her eyes.
We did the smoky eyes thing.
That was by another woman, though. So
let's have this conversation.
That doesn't give her a pass.
Stop it.
So I suppose I can't call her a fat cunt.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
just like being gay can call another gay guy a cocksucking.
Yeah.
Well, if he is a cocksucker, if he sucked,
or a black guy can call another black guy a nigger.
They do it all the time.
I don't think that's right.
Nigga.
Or a kike or anything else, or an elitist, or make fun of somebody because they believe in that they're a Republican. All of that is wrong.
I say even if you're not black and you call somebody the N-word, or you're not a man and you accuse and you criticize Shaka B. Sanders' appearance, or vice versa, you're a woman and you call me a fat ass, you're right. You're allowed to. And hashtag get over.
Yep.
No, you're not.
And don't come to our rescue. It just makes us look ridiculous and stupid and weak.
Well, that's because women are ridiculous and stupid.
Somebody wrote here on our Foreman Colossus wrote, Sarah Fuckabee class? That's
Thank
like
you.
calling a rabid dog cuddly.
There you go.
Well, this Mr. Colossus.
Who was that person? I want to get
So there's okay, John.
Yes, John.
Sarah Fuckabee class. That's funny.
I have a police question.
Okay.
I have a police question, Phil. Today I saw this thing that really bugged me. I was driving to work right along the Lincoln Park golf course overlooking the Golden Gate, real beautiful. And in front of me was this car from Oregon. And all the windows were black, even the front windshield. And the guy was driving like 2 miles an hour. And I thought, man, if I was a cop, stopping this guy, I'd just pull my gun out because you can't see a friggin' thing. You can't see. So what would you do in a situation like that, Phil?
Well, sometimes you can shine a light on the window and you can see through it, but you can order them out. By one, you do what's called a felony stop, where you bring them out, and then and of course you want backup. But what we were trained to do when people van is we walk up to the edge of the van, like the right quarter panel, put our ear to the metal, and see if we can hear anything going on in the van.
And then if they sound black, you start shooting like crazy.
Only with a shotgun.
If they're as black as the windowsill,
the German Shepherds out, and we start chasing them down to Alabama. But
I used to have. Also, the state of California, you're not allowed to have your windshield tinted too dark, and you're not allowed to have your driver's side window.
I used to have a problem when I worked years ago when I held one of my teenage jobs at the Marin Motor Movies. They had. Once a year, they had a collection for the Will Rogers Hospital, and they made us go from car to car with a bucket to get donations. And they assigned me to the back row. And anytime I saw a steamed up window, especially if there were footprints on the window,
well, you kind of
I didn't even knock on the door.
Well, maybe they were heavy breathers.
That could be.
Republicans.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about mouth breathers.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, during allergy season, I see no other choice.
Hey, I got a new CPAP machine. I don't breathe through the mouth at night anymore either.
Why don't you just lose some weight and you won't snore anymore?
No, that's not 100% true.
I have a CPAP.
Which is my latest problem, by the way. My latest problem is, hold on a second, can I say, I started talking, Phil.
You raise your hand.
Raise your hand.
Okay.
Anyway, now I forgot what I was going to say.
You have to give respect in order to
lost weight.
So anyway, so I lost all this weight, okay? So I get on the scale every couple of days, and I've been staying rigidly on my low-carb diet, and I've been going to the gym. I went to the gym out of 8 days, I've gone 7, okay? And I do about 45 minutes in there. I do a workout and everything, and I've gained 2 pounds.
That always happens when you first start working out. Always.
Really?
He hasn't built any muscle. Larry Bubbles Brown said that in his earlier interview that maybe he was gaining muscle. But that's not going to happen after 8 days.
No. It just happens. Every time you diet and you start working out, you haven't been working out, you always gain weight. It's happened to me a bunch of times. I don't really understand it. It has to do with water and all kinds of things.
Yeah. Well, you would know.
So, Brian, can we ask, what are you doing in Florida?
I'm not in Florida.
He's not in Florida.
No. Aren't you buying a house in Florida or thinking about moving down there?
I never.
What the hell was on your Facebook post? Oh,
maybe
sorry.
some son of a bitch hacked my account. I don't know.
You were moving down there with your sister, and you might be buying a house. And wow, boy,
I never said that.
That could be another Brian.
Hey, Brian, land's real cheap in Leilani Estates now.
Yeah.
No, it's on
that's the
fire.
straight Brian. Straight Brian has a Facebook.
Wait a minute. What's the name of that estate? Isn't it Lanai Estates?
No, it's Leilani. He said it right.
Leilani?
Leilani.
Leilani.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Lani, which is Lanai.
Yeah.
Okay. Ani. Got it.
They're-
They're not cheap there. They're actually just going to burst into flames.
Yeah, well, but what's fun is they have a new motto now for selling homes there where the lava meets the sea. It's a wonderful thing.
Well, I was going to say these prices are on fire.
By the way, can I
Homes
say
are
this?
hot.
Can I say this from what we see here? Yes, it's terrible. People have lost their homes, but let's face it, they built their homes on the side of a volcano. All right.
But also, in all due seriousness, up until you called in today, Renee, off and on, I've been thinking about you and wondering what you've been up to since all this shit went down in Hawaii.
Yeah, but I got to say something. The pictures that I've seen of that volcano and what's been doing, spectacular.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Scary. But
So
spectacular.
if
You're
you go to YouTube, which you're all at now, go to Civil Beat Hawaii, or just put in Civil Beat in the YouTube, and they have a 24/7 hour camra just pointed at one of the lava explosions, and it's running like a river.
Yeah.
It is so wide.
What is that? Civil Beat?
Civil Beat.
Whoa. Civil
And
Beat.
Civil Beat, and it's got a 24/7 webcam on it, and you're just like, we're screwed. That's just not good. That's not. So yeah, you should look at it.
Like Civil Beat sounds like a cop channel.
But I
They are an alternative newspaper in Hawaii, a news source in Hawaii, and I support them both monetarily and verbally.
Hey,
are they elitist, liberal?
Renee,
Of course we
There
are.
we go.
Hey,
You can
Renee.
see it. Hold on a second, everybody, because
Yeah, you got to see this.
no,
This webcam is going to go, oh shit.
yeah,
and
you got
can turn this
you
on
got
at
to go
night
to
and
this
go, oh,
webcam.
shit.
Look at that.
No, you need to give us a bit. We can't see that, Alex.
Civilbeat.org.
I see
Well, no,
part
but
of
you can see it. The audience can see it quite a bit.
Hey, Renee, I got to say
it is.
something.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go.
I've been watching these videos every day because I used to own land in Curtistown.
Oh, yeah.
And, well, I sold it 10 years ago. But what I don't understand is when the USGS scientists from the Volcano Observatory get on or anything, I look at the YouTube thing, and there's always about 2,000 likes. And then there's always about 100 people that vote it thumbs down. And I'm thinking, what kind of friggin' Nimrod would vote down this wonderful presentation? The scientists admit that they don't know everything going on. They're doing their best. They expose themselves to danger. They take samples to get some idea of which lava vent is spewing where or what it's going to do. And it's a predictive science too. They don't know.
I don't know your name. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but what you just said there, what kind of moron? Oh, I'll tell you, I can speculate what kind of moron. Probably kind of the same kind of moron who thinks that the Earth is 5,000 years old and that these scientists are going against God's work or
God,
some
I miss
shit
you.
like that.
You know what, Brian? Can you be my houseboy? How much do you get paid a year? No, seriously, how much do you get paid a year? Because I might be able to tap that if you want to live in the other room.
Well, he can do a lot of housework around the house, but other than that, he's gay, So
I don't.
She was talking about tapping it.
I was not talking about tapping that.
Well, he's gay. He's
I'm
gay, but he
not-
hates people.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's true. I do
Wait,
hate
I'm
people.
straight and I hate people. What the fuck's the difference?
By the way,
If you're dead,
let me ask Ray,
if you're dead serious,
Let me ask.
Brian, you would be
know how to get a hold of me.
You would be a plus in anybody's house.
Alex wants to say something.
For about
Raise your
5.
He put up.
For about
Alex
5
raised his
hours.
hand.
Start getting that nerve, though.
It's my goddamn station. I don't have to live by the same rules as everybody else.
You
He
white
pays the money.
You
Today
white
we just have a lot to say, Alex. What can I
You
say?
know, I mean,
We're out of
Yeah.
control.
Alex, can't you shut off our individual mics or
No,
something?
I
You can only
can't.
shut us all off.
No, I can only shut you all off, and I will be doing that in 10 minutes from right now, much to my benefit. Anyway, Ray, now I wanted to say, where's the dog now? Sleeping?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
she's probably lying down.
My dog is sleeping too.
That's a cute dog.
So the problem is,
my dog is sleeping with my girlfriend.
so my dog's crouched
Whoa.
too. So the problem is my dog, who's a bigger dog, doesn't like fluffy things. So if you see a chicken, it's okay until it puts its wings out. So these little white dogs that you guys have, he's not sure about little white dogs.
But Phil, I thought your girlfriend's dog was sitting in that chair talking to us.
Oh, there you go.
Your dog kind of looks like a.
I'm sorry.
Your dog kind
I love
of.
dogs. I meant to say
Your
pig.
dog kind of looks like a Disney dog.
It is. I know it does.
What's your name?
My problem.
What kind of dog is that, Ray?
It's a Labradoodle.
Oh, very.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd pick up my dog, but he's asleep now. I don't want to bug him.
Yeah.
And what kind of dog is
my
yours,
dog.
John?
It's
John,
a mini Maltese mix. Mini poodle Maltese.
You see, John, I'm the boss
Look
here.
at this,
I'm going to go pick up my dog, and it's going to like it.
My dog's 65 pounds.
My
and I'm not lifting
my
his
dog
ass.
is a mini Rover. Oh wait a minute, that's a car. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop licking. stop.
All we need is a pony now, right?
Wait, just keep doing that. The numbers are going up. They love dog pictures and cat pictures and things like that. Yeah.
John, do you know?
Oh God, everybody's.
Document.
Does everybody own the same?
Republican dog.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Does everybody own the same fucking dog here, and they're just trading it back and forth?
Same dog.
Looks like he's got some Scottish Terrier in him.
Yeah, he's got some Scottish in him.
Yeah.
He's got Bichon Frise, and I didn't remember the other one.
Say hello.
Yeah, it's nice hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some Scottish in him.
Yeah.
There's a
Any
lot of.
Schnauzer at all? No.
It might be part Schnauzer.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yes.
Hey, Ray, don't bring your
oh,
dog
geez.
to the fight. You know, I had a friend, she
Oh, no.
brought her chihuahuas to the fight.
You do know, by the way,
God.
guys, where that mouth has been, don't you?
Oh yeah.
I wasn't making contact. I just go a little bit like.
So no, Ray didn't make.
I
contact,
used to.
but-
I used
but
to with
our
my cats.
token
I used to
Republican
My
kiss.
dog knows I hate contact.
I
with
used
her
to
tongue,
kiss
so
my
she doesn't-
cats on the lip.
I gotta say this.
I used.
Alex, you said that you just said to those guys, you know where those dogs' mouths has been. I just wanted to say, well, same place your asshole has been on that microphone.
Thank
Spelled
you.
not.
Thank you very much. I just got
miss you,
I just
Brian.
got served by Brian. No, but I used to kiss my
About
cat
damn time.
on the mouth, on the lips. Go, mm, yeah.
Don't swap those germs. Those aren't germs that are supposed to be in our body.
Hey, I never
It's good.
caught.
It's a good probiotic.
Yeah, I
Stuff.
take
5,000 years ago, we were full of germs. We still are. We just don't want to admit it.
Oh, we're more full.
We're human animals, after all.
Oh, we have a lot of germs. We're really putrid inside. Yeah.
Yeah,
Most of them are good germs.
The only thing.
And would you like to know a little disgusting secret?
Okay.
When you so if you were-
Wait, whoa! Before you start that, if you give a disgusting secret, you're bound to see it tomorrow on Alex Bennett's
Okay, so
newsreel.
we will do this as an adult. When you kiss another person, you actually end up with the same germs from every other person they have kissed in their lifetime.
Well, that's just like saying
Wait a
when you
minute,
fuck a
wait a minute,
person,
in their
you're fucking
lifetime-
everything
When-
everybody else
yes.
ain't fucking like too.
You have the same disgusting germs that they got from whoever they slept with.
Hey, that's pretty kissable.
So
As long
chances
as
are
those
many
germs
of us.
don't kill you or make you an invalid, who the
Wait a
fuck
minute.
cares?
Where did you get this little fact?
No, that's true.
It's a factoid.
It's a self. It is a Planned Parenthood, not contagious disease, but actual data about
Yeah.
how often we swap stuff with other people and the way we
Another
swap
reason to get
stuff.
rid of Planned Parenthood.
No, it isn't.
Oh,
But
God.
Brian, you're
You
trying.
could probably wear a condom on your tongue or something, right?
That would probably help.
a dental dam, as they call them.
Or
Yeah, and so
Cherry
that-
flavored of all things.
So here's the thing: when people ask me if I want to start dating, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to. Not with no. I don't want to know what you slept with, and I certainly don't want to know what you kissed with that man.
I just don't want to deal with the emotional bullshit.
Well, I've got some pretty good looking germs here then.
Michael Billy always
Yeah.
said it was easier being gay than straight
Ugh.
How's it easier being gay and straight?
because when you
Depends
look
on who
at
you
another-
talk to.
Okay.
Depends on whose shoes you walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess if you're gay,
Is
when
being
when
gay
it
in
com-
Alabama the
well,
same way as being gay in Palm Springs?
I guess
I don't
with-
think so.
with gay, it's kind of like, there's anal sex involved, and the hard part is making it look easy.
Hey, if you're walking in a guy's shoes,
Fortunately, I'm a top, so I don't have to really worry about that much.
Oh, okay. Good for
What
you.
is a
You
top?
like wear a badge.
A
that
top
says
is-
Put it
top,
in.
and then
That's
you
what a
look for
top
a
is.
bottom.
You stick it in. You don't ever get stuck in. Too? No.
Well, like
That's
one
not
of the first few
reciprocal?
months that I was,
I'll tell you
that I
one
was
of the
exploring, I did, and I realized I didn't like it.
quickly.
Okay.
One of the best questions I ever asked an interviewee was I was interviewing Rock Hudson's former boyfriend. It was his boyfriend when he found out that Rock had AIDS. Okay, when he wound up at the Pasteur Institute in France, and so I said, well, the fact is that it's easier to get AIDS if you're a top rather than if you're a bottom rather than a
read that
top.
too.
And I said,
penetrating
so
bottom,
I know,
yes.
and I said to him, so what were you in relationship to Rock? I actually asked him, and he said we traded off.
There you go.
Versatile.
Versatile, yeah,
Yeah. Well,
Is
you
it-
would think. Yeah.
yeah.
Is it true? So do you guys say I'm only ever going to be on top, and I only ever have to find a bottom person? Is that the way it works?
That's for certain types of, as far as gay men are concerned, yes, it's certain
Okay.
types.
It's
And
good
there's
to know.
some gay men who don't like anal sex at all, right?
What
That's
the hell?
correct.
Yeah.
What do they just get blowjobs?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a good idea.
What is that? Because you're afraid of your sexuality, or is that just?
Because it hurts getting it in your ass.
Yeah.
They just do the rusty trombone action.
Yeah. And we're back to talking about your father, Ray.
Going to New Orleans with that.
Or, excuse me, in his case, the rusty tuba.
Play that during Mardi Gras.
I'm telling you guys, you're giving Bennett all this material.
Oh,
You're
better yet, play that during the national anthem.
No, I already got something Brian said earlier that I'm going to put
Maybe
on.
Trump will volunteer.
Hey,
and then
listen.
again, who would want to put their lips anywhere near that?
Oh man, I would.
We,
never.
we ended this show tonight with a huge audience. I don't know what it was. I think it was rusty
dogs.
trombone, or maybe it's the
dogs.
dogs. It could be the dogs.
It could be
Mine
the
are asleep.
tip of the
In
day
the
for a
crate.
gay male.
Yeah.
How's that?
Anyway, thank you so much, Ray. Nice walk with your dog earlier. And thank you, Brian. I have a clip with you, I think, for tonight. For tomorrow, rather. John Perulis, thank you for joining
wait
me.
till
Phil
Jack gets
Meyer,
alone.
Renee Collins. Why don't all you people just give a big wave goodbye so they can all see you go away? Thanks, everybody. And that's our citizens panel for tonight. Let me get rid of them and let me hang up on them and get rid of them there so the next show can use it. The fact is, the next show is up next. Of course, it would be. Wouldn't the next show be up next? Yes. The next show is The Intersection with Jack and Amy. That will be closely followed at 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time with Connections. And then tomorrow night, it's Damien with The Exchange at 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time. I'll be back again at 10 o'clock. Same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, if you see her, tell her I'll leave the light off and I love her. Okay? Bye.